Go ahead and skip to 20 seconds in.
20 seconds in.
Because first 20 seconds is just them eating pizza. There we go.
Well, why is that a bad thing? I love pizza.
This is a 9-member girl group that debuted in 2007. So far the oldest group that we've heard today. They debuted under SM Entertainment, but for this song there's only 8 members since one of the members left in 2014. The signature style of music for this group is electropop or bubblegum pop, but their music actually has varied quite a bit, and this is one of the songs that has varied. This song is called Lionheart, and it's their 2015 song. It is described as a soul pop-inspired bubblegum pop song produced by Lee Suman. It embraces a 1960s American retro sound that has a jazzy melody. And yeah, this group actually, SNSD, is... Have you heard of them by any chance?
Girls' Generation?
Yes.
Yes, I've heard of them only because, as Emma would tell you, my first homework assignment in this course that I teach, and one of the courses I teach, is your top 5 artists and your least favorite artist or genre. And multiple students I've had have put Girls' Generation as their least favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so over the years, so I started teaching here in 2011, I started teaching this course. And so I'd say almost one kid a year will be like, I hate Girls' Generation. And so like, I had to check them out. So I've heard, I might have heard this song. It sounds familiar,
okay,
but I don't remember it. Because usually when a student says, I really hate this band and I don't know this band, I listen to the band to find out, maybe I'll like it, maybe I'll hate it. So from my recollection, the first time I heard Girls' Generation, there's a student put them on their list. I was like, it's just pop production. It's like a Korean girl version of the Backstreet Boys was my thought, but less 90s terribleness.
All right, yeah, because they're so popular in Korea, maybe not as popular here.
Yeah.
Their immense popularity there has earned them nicknames such as the nation's girl group. So that's just a fun fact. So also, yeah, I'm curious, like, how has mixing differed between the 60s and now? After you listen to it, you can explain what's so modern.
There's a lot.
Okay, well, I'm excited.
Here we go. I like that. There's a slapback echo on the doo-doo-doo-doo. It's very subtle, but very nice. Very well done. They're kind of going for a more electronic Amy Winehouse kind of style, it sounds like to me. Amy Winehouse used a lot more musicians. Everything else here sounds mostly synthetic. Now that's modern production right there. What just happened with the vocals, total modern production. Because there's like a cutoff, obviously there's auto-tune. That was total modern production right there. It's a nice mix, it's very pleasant, well balanced. There's little nuances here or there that I would second guess as an engineer, but they're not bad. It's just like kind of distracting. It's very cut off, and that's something you couldn't do in the 60s because you're recording the tape. And here we can cut it with Pro Tools and visually see that it's cut off and it's a very sharp edge. I want more bass. I need more bass. Background vocals should be further back at that point. The lead vocal was very varied. Yeah, the difference is they're going for that retro sound, but a modern production, modern twist on a classically written song, essentially. So the songwriting, I would say, is 60s. You've got the guitar on 2 and 4 with a little bit of delay, and you've got a nice bass line that has space. You have harmony vocals a la Beach Boys, bubblegum pop, kind of stuff. It harkens back to that musically, but sonically it does not. Sonically, it's very modern. It's the age we live in where everything's tracked to a click track. Everything's beat mapped and perfected and aligned to the grid. If this song was done in the 60s, there'd be tempo variation. There'd be imperfections in the voice. There'd be a little bit of weirdness, maybe a slight distortion on something, you know. You'd have tape hiss, obviously. You know, it's a very clean, modern take on the music of that era. Like I said, the most modern pop that I can equate it to would be Amy Winehouse. But Amy Winehouse used a lot of actual instruments. She didn't use a ton of synths. There are some tunes that Amy Winehouse has auto-tune on her voice, but it's very few and far between. She was such a stellar musician that they didn't see the need. And honestly, there's a lot of musicians like that where I think that they don't need it, but they still use it.
Right. Could you point out the thing where you said you hear people since they're singing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something I've noticed, and I said it in class, and I've noticed in recent years, people are starting to sing like they have autotune on their voice, naturally. And I think it's just because they're singing along with artists that use autotune. So it's kind of like a chicken and the egg problem now, where if you're singing along with something that has autotune and has those weird jumps with no glissando, you train your voice to sing like that and to do those weird athletic jumps from note to note, and so now people are singing like that, and it's an interesting thing. I've noticed it with my students. I've noticed it at concerts where there's no autotune going on, like going to a rock band show at a club that holds 20 people, and yet you get a singer up there that can do these athletic jumps, pitch perfect, note to note with no glissando, and that's like hard to do. I don't know opera singers that could do that. You know, it's something that's happened just because people are singing along in the shower and in their car to stuff that's auto-tuned.
Yeah. Yeah, that blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, you're so right.
Yeah, so notice it next time when you're out there, if you're listening along.
So next is Weki Meki. They are an 8-member group debuted in 2017, so super recent like Kristen, under Fantagio Entertainment. This song, I Don't Like Your Girlfriend, is their debut song and was composed by many people, including Divine, Kai, Ryan, Kim, Chase, Amanda, Mosley, and arranged by Divine Channel. So often K-pop groups actually use like American songwriters or even European songwriters. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like this group used some. When I went through the comments of this video, a lot of fans were saying they wish this group debuted with a better song. So this song is kind of bipolar. It has a ton of different styles. I think like definitely a lot of creative mixing or really bad mixing. I can't tell. But it's just fun, and so I think you'll have plenty to comment on.
Okay, here we go. That was weird. That was not what I expected from that build-up. 808 kick drum, there you go, right there. Cause baby, I don't like a girlfriend. I'm lost. It's like a musical salad. I'm going to go ahead and agree with the YouTube commenters that this might not have been their best foot to start off on, only because it's like they're throwing in everything to see what sticks. And production-wise, the engineer, that's a challenge to make this all fit. It's very high-end, it's very top-heavy. I could get tired of it, not just musically, but sonically. It just changes too much musically. There's nothing to grasp onto. This is out of left field, honestly.
Ooh, cause baby, I don't like your girlfriend. I don't like your girlfriend. I don't like your girl. What? Cause baby, I don't like your girlfriend.
There's a lot of samples and things like that are very pervasive in modern pop music and all around the world, essentially. So there's like these synth sounds, and I'm like, oh, I've heard that synth sound. I've heard that snare drum sound. So that's why I said earlier it's like a musical salad. It's just kind of like they're throwing everything in that's hip and just kind of putting it all together. I think my main issue is I couldn't get past the music in that one to really comment on the mix, so I apologize. The music, you mentioned that there was a whole bunch of writers on this song, and what it sounds like to me was like no one would relinquish their writing. Like one person wrote one thing, it was like it has to go there. Another person wrote a different thing, and then it was just kind of like they all had to mash it together. It had the same tempo. That's about the only thing I could really grasp onto. Like, all right, I can dance to it because it has the same tempo, but like it went from a shuffle beat to a straight eighth note to a hip hop thing to then a halftime, and then it was just kind of like all over the place. As far as the engineering is concerned, it's very top heavy. There's the 808 kick that comes in and overwhelms your speakers and overwhelms the bass, but then most of the rest of the time it's like, where's the bass? So it's kind of like it needs some work.
Right. Yes. And you said, like, from the engineering perspective, this is hard to do.
Yeah. As an engineer, I would have a difficult time. I can't lay blame on the engineer here. The engineer, I think, probably did their best with what was given to them because maybe the engineer really liked it and really enjoyed whatever. I have no idea. But if this was given to me, I'd be like, okay, well, I have a lot of low frequency here with the 808 in this 10 seconds of the song. And then the rest of it, there's no bass frequency. So it'd be a lot of automation to try to even it out and make it exciting. It'd be a difficult job to balance everything. And I can only imagine, how many times this was mixed or how many times this was put together.
All right, so last girl group is Blackpink. Blackpink is a 4-member girl group that debuted in 2016 under YG Entertainment. This song, As If It's Your Last, is their only 2017 release and was written and produced by Teddy, Future Bounce, and Lydia Pake. I chose this song because I just thought the mixing was great, and it probably uses also a lot of current day popular samples, so you can maybe point out which ones you hear a lot and stuff.
Here we go. It's a very Daft Punk intro.
Give me a little bit of that. Give me a little bit of this.
The reggaeton beat, there it is. I was waiting for it. I knew it had to come out at some point. There was a little bit in the other song, the song before it too. That kick drum is a sample and it's pervasive. I would get really tired of it after a while. Okay, so it changed up. So it was just that one section. If that was going through the whole song, I would have been annoyed. That was interesting what they did with the voice there, with the pitch shift up. Not bad. Might want to try that on something I'm doing right now, actually. This sounds great. I think it's well balanced. I can hear everything great. Yeah, it's nice mix right here. I appreciate the rap vocals sound great. I think they're perfect. The singing vocals, I think, lack a little excitement. Yeah, there's a lot of nice little things going on here, harmonically, melodically, that come through really nice in the mix. I really enjoy these choruses. The guitar harmonies that were going on there were really neat in that bridge section. And the nice counter melodies going on. It kind of reminds me of like some of the chorus. I think I like it because it's reminding me of mid '80s Madonna. Very similar with the bass line doing the ba-doom, on the ands kind of. It's doing the 16th notes. Yeah, there's something there that's it's drawing to a memory, a musical memory of mine, which I'm placing as like Madonna, like probably 86 to 89. Right. Somewhere in that area. Overall, like I thought that was a really cool kind of mix. At first I didn't like the reggaeton beat into the chorus, but then the second time I heard it, I was like, okay, I like it more. It worked because the rap vocals are very aggressive, and I kind of like that. She was almost attacking you a little bit, and the way they engineered that was quite well done. The reggaeton beat fit really well under that, and then to go to the straight 4 on the floor pop beat for the chorus makes sense. Most of the time the song was very wide. What I would have done differently, maybe, if I had my hands on this mix, is the rap part, maybe bring it in a little bit. Not have it spread far left right, but kind of bring it in. So then the rap part's a little tighter here. And then when the chorus comes in, it's like all of a sudden we're wide again. And that's a tried and true kind of thing. Like it's very prevalent in music mixing to make the chorus wider than the verse. But I think in this song that would have benefited just from a mixing standpoint. I think it would have made it a little more interesting, just to push it over the edge. But overall, like I thought that was a nice mix.
Right. So out of these 6,
Yes.
do you have a favorite?
I like this, and I like Girls' Generation.
You mean Twice?
Was
Or-
it Twice?
Twice is the TT one.
That one. This one, I think I'd listen to this again. The TT one I'd listen to again, because that was definitely very interesting.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
And from what you know with female artists over here, is the mixing similar vocally and balance-wise?
yeah, on this one in particular, the rap part is Nicki Minaj all over it. That style of hip-hop blended with music, or like some sort of melodic structure. But it is, like I could throw on the new Taylor Swift record, and the production quality is very similar in stylistic. And I point to the new Taylor Swift because it's a very pop record compared to a lot of her older stuff.
Great. Yeah, so in the first place, all you knew about was SNSD. Was that the
Yeah.
only K-pop girl group that you knew
Yeah.
about? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, has your thoughts changed about girl groups at all, or?
No, I don't. I mean, I didn't have a negative thought coming into it. I'd be curious to hear more from all these groups, especially the second to last one, the one with the
Weki Meki?
yeah, which was like all over the place. I'd be really curious to hear a song that's not as musically of a grab bag.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to hear something that's a little more standard writing out of them. Otherwise, like, I'd put this on, I'd listen to it. I couldn't really sing along, but then again, lyrics, even in American music, lyrics are literally the last thing I listen to. That's just, my preference goes instruments first. And I listen to the vocal texture and the intonation and the timbre of the vocals, but I don't memorize lyrics much.
I so see